Hello, my name is Brother Sean, or Father Ted to his friends, and I just want to try and dispel some myths about what it is to be a monastic in the 21st century. First, it is certainly not what I went through in the mid-60s as a young Catholic nursing monk in a 14th century German order in Southern Ireland, on an island where I didn't see the opposite sex for 3 years. It was quite regimented, disciplined, up at 5 and in bed for 9. And out of the 24-hour clock, we had at least 6 hours of prayer a day. And on special days, it could be 12, with an annual 30-day silent retreat. For those who entered that way of life, it was a challenge, but a vocation in Ireland was considered a great honour. But today, being a monastic in the Teo community of St. Francis is not what a lot of people think. Yes, it's a journey, but more importantly, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to face your fear, to embrace your heart, and to be free. And being an oblate, one who joins the community, they do so on their own steam. Yes, of course, there's a 6-month probation, but they draw up their own rule of life. It's not inflicted on them like it was me and many monastics. They choose their own belief. If they're Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, Jew, Christian, or Muslim, their tradition is honored and respected. There is no ploy or hidden agenda that they must convert to Christianity, because then that defeats the purpose of being interfaith. And the vision is very simple. The vision of Francis and Jesus, the barefoot Galilean, in 2006, was to reach out to all faiths and none and offer a hand of friendship, a hand of love, and show Franciscan hospitality at its best, but not try and convert or coerce or empower another to compromise their belief. And again in 2008 at the tomb of Francis, the vision I was given was to invite men and women of different faiths to come and surrender their hearts and embrace 21st century monasticism from their own home. We're an online community at present, although here there's Brother Rob and myself. But the vision hopefully will be that the universe will provide the Abbey of St. Francis of Peace and Compassion in the field of dreams, where we will live together in our own little dwelling, an eco-pod hopefully, where we will have our independence and our own privacy, but come together 3 times a day to pray and to do the dance of the Canticle of the Creatures, to eat together, to pray together, to work together, but to also have our own independence and to respect each other's belief. So 21st century monasticism is nothing like the monasticism of that bygone era, where you leave family and friends, you become ostracized from your family. I know when I entered the monastery, I had no contact with my family for the first year, and then there were 2 visits allowed every year. But when I left the monastery 8 years after, something strange happened. I grew away from my blood family, and I couldn't wait to get away from my spiritual family, because I felt so abused and trapped in that negative mindset that took 12 years of therapy to get rid of all that negativity and pain. But that was then, this is now, and I've moved on, hopefully. But I had expectations that when I left, my family would know me. They didn't, and I didn't know them. And I was wrong. So today, if someone like yourself wants to become a lay monastic, there's two routes. There's the monastic, or there's the commissioned Interfaith Franciscan seminarian. That's a 3-year course online. Whereas to be an oblate stroke lay monastic and embrace monastic life from your own home, that's a 2-year course with a 6-month probation. Again, it's online with 2 residential weekends, if that's possible. But it's simple, and it's about embracing your heart. There are no exams, there's no criteria other than it's give and take. There are no impositions placed on you, other than that you take responsibility for your spiritual journey. Because we are not a nannying community where members are guided to come and be told what to do like I was. Do you know, when I was in the monastery, we weren't allowed to have a watch, and we never had a mirror to shave ourselves, and many's a morning it would be cutthroats at dawn. But you know, I loved that life. There was so much about it I loved, and I miss the silence, the exposition, the times of prayer, saying the office together, chanting the Gregorian with my brothers. But what I don't miss is the abuse of God's power, and living in that unlived life where you felt so frustrated. You weren't allowed to have proper friendship. And when you went for a walk, there was always 3 of you in case there was anything untoward. It was so unhealthy. But looking back, it was a foundation stone for today. So I live the monastic life, and I allow myself out for 1 hour every day to walk in the woods and embrace my God through the natural world. And I set the tone of the day. But yes, it involves discipline, because if I give in to my feelings, I wouldn't pray. But it is a joy. It's a joy being in divine service. It's a joy getting to know one's God through sacred spiritual intimacy. And it's a joy knowing that the vow of promise, or the promise we've made, or the vows we've made of providence, that our Father, Mother God will take care of all our needs. So yes, it's a life of simplicity, following in the footsteps of St. Francis, who embraced God, as you know, through the natural world. But as a Catholic Christian, Jesus is my role model. But if you were a Buddhist, then it's up to you how you embrace creation. No one is here to tell you, and no one is here to put you down. Your spiritual life is sacrosanct to you, but you do not have to give up your designer label clothes, your 5-star penthouse, and your BMW. But what you are asked is not to allow material things own you, to be detached from them, and to hold everything lightly, and to give greater emphasis to your spiritual training, to making time each day for times of quietness and stillness. That's so essential. And to try and join us live each morning or evening for morning and evening prayer, or the vigil at 9 o'clock, where we hold all beliefs for that 1 hour vigil of peace. Don't be put off by the habit. This is my fancy dress. If you're unsure, contact us. Arrange a meeting with one of our group. But lay monasticism, I believe that we are all monastics at heart. That is my belief. Because inside our heart, inside our higher self, there is a yearning for that spiritual intimacy with the divine. And what's so fabulous today is that you can marry the two, living in the world but not of it, and yet at the same time being part of a spiritual family who are interfaith. Thank you for listening. Namaste.